What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Food Fitness Family Podcast. It is your boy, Big Daddy Blankenship, and Mr. Beautiful, Mr. Nice Hair, Mr. Pretty Eyes, Marcus
You're always so kind to me in the
Yates.
intro.
I know, man. You're just so
Actually, that's not
handsome.
that's not true. On the last one we
Yeah.
just recorded, you were a dickhead. So who knows what you're gonna get? Even if we record back to
I
back episodes like this
I
one.
like to keep you on your toes, man. We got to have good intros.
Yes, yes, sir.
People,
So
people told me they like how I mean to you, and they
if
like
they
how
like it, give them what they want.
they like how I mean to you, but they like how sometimes I'll make fun of you, but you don't realize it, and you'll just be like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And those are my favorites.
are they? That's rude. That's rude. Well, everybody listening today, this is a pre-recorded episode. We are actually recording this before the new year of
Yes.
2023, but we don't even know when this is going to be coming out.
Not
So,
sure when this will drop. We have a couple that we just recorded an extra. I have a bunch of traveling coming up.
yep.
Mark's has some traveling coming up, so we're just trying to get some pre-recorded stuff out for you guys for when we're gone. So today we're going to talk about being what is it? What do we say? Proactive versus reactive, living
Yeah,
in
yeah.
survival mode.
Essentially, so yeah, intentional versus living in survival mode, being proactive versus reactive, and how
Right.
those are difference makers in your life, really, with whatever it is you're doing. But obviously, we're talking more in particular about health and fitness.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about. So I'll
Yeah.
I'm just along for the ride, man.
Hell yeah, hell
Uh,
yeah. Well, I'll start, and then you just tap on with or
but
tag on with anything else.
hell yeah, bro, let's get it.
All right, cool. So kind of my point with this here is that the average person generally has no plan. They have no plan for when they're going to eat, what they're going to eat, why they're going to eat it. Same thing with their exercise. I'll have people that say, I want to work out 3 times a week. I'm like, when are you going to work out? They're like, I don't know yet. I'm like, okay, well, it's Sunday and tomorrow's Monday. When are you going to be working out? Because if you have no plan about when it's going to happen, you just have this vague goal of getting to the gym 3 times, but have no idea when you're going to carve that out, especially when you have kids and a full-time job and everything else. You're probably not going to make it happen. You're going to get to the end of the week. And you might have made it one time, but you didn't hit it three. And you probably had the time to hit it three. You just didn't plan it ahead. Same thing with food. I have so many intake forms that say, I don't eat breakfast. I don't know what to eat, or I don't have time for it. I'm like, well, you're just living in survival mode. You're waking up, throwing your clothes on, and getting out the door.
Yep.
And no wonder why your health and your physique and everything else is suffering. Your energy is suffering. Your confidence is suffering because you're just living in survival mode,
Yeah.
making it through the damn day.
They're starting their day stressed. They're going to work stressed.
Yeah.
They're stressed while they're at work, and then they get
Yeah.
home. And if they have kids, they're probably stressed out when they get
Yeah.
home. They don't even know what they're going to do for dinner, and then it's just a
And you,
fucking ball of
and,
stress all
and, and you
day.
pray that person enjoys their job. If,
Yeah,
if, if you
yeah.
go into a job that you hate as well, it's just stress, 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 stress. You're living with no intent. You're maybe are content with what you're doing and likely not. And honestly, living without any sort of fire, without any goals, without any way to move forward sounds lifeless to me. Like that does
Yeah.
not sound fun.
I was at the hospital one time, and I saw this crazy stat that makes a lot of sense to me once I thought about it. But it was like heart month or something like that, and it said that I want to say it was 83% of heart attacks happen on Monday mornings before 9 a.m.
Really?
because people, and when you think about it, people
Yeah.
hate their life.
Mhm.
I mean, I hate to say hate their lives, but there are some people that just really hate their lives. They have nothing, they can't find any positives. They hate their job, and like they're just so stressed out they don't want to go. I know my mom, before she got a job change, every Sunday she would wake up with a massive headache. And it's because she
Oh
would
yeah.
just stress herself out so much about going to work
Yeah.
Monday that it
Yeah.
would affect her Sunday.
Well,
And
and
it's
well,
rough.
that's true as well. I mean, I remember having like the Sunday scaries like before going to school and shit. But
The
and
what? The Sunday scaries?
Sunday scaries, yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
so cute.
That's what some people have. I
Gosh.
I never call them that. I've always heard them as that.
No, you use that. That's your term.
But to kind of piggyback off that though is that we just mentioned all these ways that people are constantly living in stress, whereas if they just had a little bit of proactiveness, a little bit of pre-planning, they could avoid at least some of these stresses.
For sure.
But the downside to all these stresses that's happening in your Monday through Friday day is now you're wanting to control some things that are going to bring you happiness. Well, the average person, what's going to bring them happiness? Alcohol generally, and or just shitty foods that just sound good, that are efficient, that are going to taste good while you're eating it. And that's why most people stress eat, is because out of all the things they cannot control that they're totally stressed about, or even the things they can control that they're totally stressed about, the one thing they know they can do is that cookie's going to taste good, or
Yep.
that beer is going to alleviate a little bit of their immediate stress, but all that's going to do is throw fucking gas on the fire. Now you're just making yourself more stressed because now you don't feel good. You have no energy. You have no confidence in what you look like or what you feel like. So you add that stress on top of everything else, and you have just a ball of, I don't even know. That doesn't sound fun at all. And really, I wouldn't be excited about next week if that's how
Yeah.
I was living today. Um, and again, that's basically just living in survival mode a lot of the time, and then you look back and 30 years have gone by, and you're like, I did nothing with those 30 years. I waited, 5 straight days just for Friday night, Saturday night, and the Sunday football game.
Yeah,
And
you're
that's what
living
you're
for the
living for.
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. And that doesn't sound a whole lot of fun. And obviously some people don't have a lot of control over some of the aspects, but you do have control over some things. And if you're not taking control of those, then again, it's not going to be a very fun thing. So kind of back to it though, another aspect of this is that immediate gratification versus the long-term gratification of it. What sounds good now, what's easy now is the immediate gratification versus I have goals that I want to hit. I want to, have this much saved, or I want to have, my body looking better for summertime, whatever the goal is, insert goal here. If you're just doing what sounds good, what's easy at the moment, you're not going to reach any of those long-term goals. And those long-term goals feel way more fulfilling because you actually put in work to get there versus an easy choice of eating some shit right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think we have to have a plan in place. I'm kind of in limbo right now. I left my coach this week, not because he did anything, just because I know my next 6 months are going to be kind of brutal for me. Bodybuilding will not be coming first. But at the same time, like I'm not really planning my food. I'm just kind of, oh, I had this, I'll eat this. And it's like, I'm just like, it kind of stresses me out because I don't know what I'm going to eat. So I'm working on making a plan for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you want to go work out this week, well, what days are you going to work out?
Mm-hmm.
Let's pre-plan that. Pre-plan that. What days, what are you going to eat? Let's plan that.
And take that stuff with
I'm gonna look for a new job. Okay, when are you gonna sit down and look for a new job? Let's set out an hour for you to go to the coffee house,
Yep.
fill out resumes or send out resumes. My relationship just kind of sucks. I want to talk to my spouse about this. Okay, when are we gonna do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's pick a time where you think that'll be a good idea to do, where you guys have time, where you're gonna have a couple hours so you can sit down and hash this out.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a plan. If you just go willy-nilly, then you're just gonna like kind of fall on your face most of the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, and I like that you mentioned, talking to like your spouse about X, Y, and Z. Nicole and I, we need to have a little budget meeting here before the new year or right after the new year. I'm good with either one. But so, I had that conversation to make sure that we were going to make that happen so we can be on the same page about things versus the amount of stress that would build up in me if we didn't have that conversation.
Yeah.
And then we also get nowhere,
Yep.
I like that.
For my business, if I have something that I need to talk to my managers about, I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, since you're here, no, let's set up a time and let's talk about this.
Yep. And let's be intentional about what it is we want to get out of this, and kind of come into this with a plan of action. Like you said before, knowing when you're going to work out, but then on top of that, okay, now you got to set yourself up for that day that you're going to be working out. So, okay, if you chose that you're going to be working out right after work, bring your clothes with you so you don't have to go home. I have a lot of clients that say, I'm struggling to get to the gym after I leave home. I leave work, I go home to get my gym clothes, and I just sit down on the couch and don't go.
Why don't you just take them with you?
Exactly. Take them with you. Go straight to the
gym. Has a bathroom that you can change.
Exactly. Same thing with the morning time. Like have your gym clothes laid out, ready to go. So that as soon as you step out of bed, you can do whatever you got to do to get on the road to get to the gym, and having that stuff planned out. Again, if you're waiting to go prep your meals in the morning time when you already have a limited amount of time, something's going to get left out. You're going to not get to the gym. You're going to leave meals at home, and then you're going to have to come up with some plan at work, which if that's your lack of planning already, you're not going to have a plan, and you're either not going to eat all day, or you're going to go eat from the vending machine, or run out on your 30-minute lunch break to go get McDonald's or some other shit. And so this is where that compounding of no plan leads to issues in your life from top to bottom. And if you could just change a couple of that pre-planning stuff, be a little bit more organized, it could literally change your life. It could change the course of your life. It could change how long you live and how much quality of life you actually have and that longevity.
100%.
Just by these few little things. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people kind of miss out on that. So
planning's everything. Like I think I've said before, like when me and Tatiana go to bed, we have a talk,
Mhm.
or sometimes before we get out of bed in the morning,
Mhm.
depending on the day, like today when I'm mostly home. What's the day like today? What do we have today? Okay, we have this, and this.
Yep.
So today I was like, cool. I'm recording with Marcus at 9,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna put together Max's Hot Wheels after that. I have a consultation at 11:30, and then I'm gonna clean the house after that.
Mhm.
And then and then while we're down here cooking breakfast, I had another guy contact me. Okay, now I also have a consultation at 1 o'clock. So I'll be at the house almost all day. I'm either gonna clean or do this,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna get to the gym around 2:30 so I can work out and I have clients from
Yeah.
4 to 7.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you,
cool. So we know what our day is.
well, and you've now communicated when you're going to be gone, when you're accessible, when you're not accessible, all that stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Versus just like her calling you at 5 o'clock, like, why the hell are you not answering my phone? Well, I'm
Yeah.
training clients. We had this talk, or if we didn't have this talk, I get why you're irritated about it.
Yeah.
Those are all key things. I always have because Nicole's work schedule kind of changes week to week, so I'm like, hey, just send me over your work schedule this week, so I know when you're home and when I need to be home. You
Yeah.
know, because that's going to affect when I go to the gym. You know, if I'm
For sure.
going to work from 9 to 5, then I need to know, do I have time after work or do I need to go in the morning? And so my schedule's kind of flip flopping all the time, and I'm adjusting around what works for her, what works for our
Mm-hmm.
dog, and that stuff. Um, and then also planning out my days. I might not be able to go to the gym the same days every single week. I might need to adjust it based off what we have on the agenda.
Yeah.
So if I didn't ask her, hey, what are we doing on Thursday? And I just assumed I could go work out on Thursday, and then Wednesday night rolls around and I planned my whole workout schedule that week for me working out on Thursday. Well, now that's going to throw things to the ringer. You know, it's going to mess me up. So I need to ask those questions early on in the week, preferably on Sunday, maybe even just looking ahead for the next 7 days, and that's all key. Some people will share, have a calendar synced up on their phones that connect to the other person, so you can go add that stuff in there. You just
Mm-hmm.
mentioned a really busy day. I think this is kind of part of this, and then we can kind of wrap it up. Is organization. So like you just listed off all the things you have to do today. Do you keep that kind of mental list in your head, or do you have like an actual to-do list, like on your phone or paper or something else?
I keep a mental list in my head, but I don't really like my Google Calendar because I
I
find
don't
myself
either.
not checking it.
Yeah.
I have like a physical planner that I write everything down in through
Cool.
my time slots. So like when I left yesterday, um, I knew I had a consult. Now this is what I'm bad about. I'll make the consultation, but I won't write it down. I'll just remember it.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was going to be home all morning. I knew I had this. So like when we get off here, it'll probably be like in 5 minutes. So I'll have an hour and 15 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll go out and I'll set a timer for Alexa for an hour and 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So I have the
Yeah.
time to cook my breakfast, build Max's Hot
Yeah.
Wheels track from Christmas.
Yeah.
And then when that goes off, I know I need to get up and send a Zoom link and get ready and swap my mind,
Yeah.
because that's another thing that planning does, is that it helps you swap your mindset to get into it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point as well. So see, you have a system in place. My system, I have this, it's called the Todoist app, and it's linked on my laptop and it's on my phone as well. So I can always access that stuff. And I'm somebody who I'm very forgetful for the most part. But I also have a million thoughts running through my mind, whether it's, ways to improve my business, or it's what I've got going on today, or whatever the case is. Like very, very vast. Some of it is thoughts for a PE game at school that I want to teach this coming
Yeah.
week. So like when I have all these thoughts going through my head, if I just try to keep them in my head, I'm going to forget 99% of it. So I have that Todoist app, and I have different little categories. So I'll just go type it in and then just tag it as to which category it belongs in. And then also kind of has my calendar for it. So like every day, like I wake up and I check that. And really, whatever your system is, you just need to be consistent with it and stick to it. So, neither of us use Google Calendar, but if that was what we needed to do to be successful, we would commit to checking every single day. And once you do it for a month, then it's easy and it's much more automatic. You just need to
Yeah.
get in the habit of it. And so I've gotten myself into the habit of like doing this Todoist app. I had them years before and didn't use them a lot. But once I got intentional about just using this, and everything I think about, everything that goes on my calendar goes into this, I don't miss anything, you know?
Yeah.
And if it's something like, if I do have a plan that I didn't write down on this, I'm probably going to forget it because I'm going off of this calendar 100% of the time. And if it's not on there, then I'm not even thinking about it. So as soon as I think about something, it goes straight onto that Todoist app, and that helps me be. Honestly, I feel like I get a shit ton done every single day, and it's thankfully because of having that system in place for it.
For sure. No, I couldn't agree more.
So I think everybody else needs to kind of find your system figure out what you think is going to be, because everybody's a little bit different. So figure out what you think you're going to be most successful with, but then actually be intentional and stick to that for, give it a couple weeks and really commit to it and see, is this sustainable for me? What tweaks do I need to make? But if you're just closing your eyes and hoping for the best, you're going to be disappointed.
Yep. Nope. I agree, man.
Definitely. Well, cool. I think we hit that one home. So guys, be intentional, be proactive, not reactive, and yeah, enjoy this whenever it comes out.
Yeah. Let's get it. Let's have a great week and have a good day, everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See you guys later.
I'll talk to you later, bud.
All right, buddy.
Bye.